Dirtle Magic. Thank you for tuning in to Dirtle Magic. Please subscribe and hit that notification bell if you like the content you see here today, and leave a like and share the video with someone you might think is interested. Leaving those likes really helps us out, but another way to help us out is by using our TCG Player affiliate link below. If you're looking for singles, sealed product, or gaming accessories, please consider using our link to support the channel. We also have some playmats at inkgaming.com. Go ahead and hit the link in the description to check those out. Alright, let's grab some spells and dirtle with some magic. Hello and welcome back to Dirtle Magic. Today we're playing some more Krydle of Baldur's Gate, the Specter tribal version. Looking at our opening hand, we have some lands, a bunch of follow-up stuff, plus some card draw. I think this is good, let's keep it. Our commander is blue-black for legendary 1/3 human elf rogue. Whenever it deals combat damage to a player, that player loses 1 life and mills a card, and we gain 1 life and can scry 1. Whenever we attack, we may pay 2. If you do, target creature can't be blocked this turn, and this applies whether we attack with Krydle or not, so we don't have to risk him in combat if we don't want to. We do get to go first. We get Rexiel the Risen Deep. Haven't seen that card yet. Let's go ahead and play a snow-covered island and pass it off. Our first opponent is going to be Alesha, who smiles at death. 2 red for a legendary 3/2 human warrior. First strike. Whenever she attacks, you may pay white or black, white or black. If you do, return target creature card with power 2 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield tapped and attacking. Yeah, it's a pretty good aggro reanimator style deck. Temple Silence into play for Alesha. Our next opponent is Aesi, Tyrant of Gyre Strait. 4 green-blue for a legendary 5/5 Serpent. You may play an additional land on each of your turns, and whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may draw a card. And last but not least, we have the Dragon. 4 and Wooburg for a legendary 10/10 Dragon Avatar. Eminence. As long as the Dragon is in the command zone or on the battlefield, other dragon spells you cast cost 1 less to cast. Flying. Whenever 1 or more dragons you control attack, draw that many cards, then you may put a permanent card from your hand onto the battlefield. Aesi's turn, we have an island into play, followed by Shadow Spear. Over to the Dragon with Indotha Triumph. Our turn gives us Snow-Covered Swamp. Let's go ahead and play one and get down our commander. And we'll pass it off there. Hey, Alesha's turn. We have Key to the City after A Plains. The key is being activated to target our Krydle. They discard Newscraft Mob. Aesi's turn, we have Simic Growth Chamber. They have to return the island. Well, they could also return the Growth Chamber, but that'd be pretty bad. Over to the Dragon. I was just thinking about which opponent we should be attacking. We do some discard and mill in this deck because we are Specters and what have you. So Alesha's probably not going to be our primary target unless we can get a big swath of damage in. Farseek for the Dragon, by the way. Rogan Triumph into play. Comes our turn, we get Echoing Truth. Could be good later. Don't know yet. Hey, Snow-Covered Swamp into play, and let's get down the Shadow Mage Infiltrator. And let's go off to the attacks. Might as well do some stuff. Let's attack into the Dragon. Our flyers will never complete with their flyers, that's for sure. Damage is good. They're up to 1 commander, down to 39, plus 38. Feed the Swarm, keep that on top. It's our very few options for enchantment removal in Dimir. Although, in testing, I did run into Revel of Riches, which no one could get rid of, except perhaps me, although I messed up on the timing. So, I added a few extra cards to try to get around enchantments, although it's still pretty weak interaction. To Alesha's turn, Key to the City triggers. They do pay 2 to draw a card. Isolated Chapel into play. No red source for Alesha yet. Over to Aesi, we have an island back into play. It's Nature's Lore for Aesi. They're going to ramp out the forest card. It's just a regular forest. Followed by Rampant Grove. We have a Key to the City activation. No target creature is told to be unblockable this time. It does say up to 1. For the effect, they discarded Mindclaw Shaman. That is, I think, a somewhat underestimated card. There was one time where I was playing my Felden deck way back in the day, got that down, copied something out of someone's hand, and was about to go infinite, but somebody countered my, ability or something? Short story, didn't end up going infinite, but Mindclaw Shaman is not to be underestimated, especially if they can steal your things. We have Rhystic Study down for the Dragon. Swamp into play. What kind of swamp is that? Ah, I see, special artwork. Seb McKinnon all the way. To our turn, we get the Feed the Swarm. Let's go ahead and play Access Tunnel. Don't really want to play too much else right now. I did want to do Read the Bones, but we could use Feed the Swarm on Rhystic Study, which I think will benefit the table more or less. So let's go ahead and do that and hope we don't have another bigger enchantment we need to get rid of later. Rhystic Study will trigger, and we will pay the 1. Let's go to attacks. Shadow Mage off into the Alesha player, and then we'll go ahead and hit Aesi. Spread around. We're not after anyone in particular. We have some on-hit effects. Shadow Mage on the stack first so we can scry before we draw a card. Resculpt. Exile an artifact or a creature. Yeah, we can keep that on top for now. And we'll draw it for the turn. Damage is good. We'll pass it off. Aesi down to 38, up to 1 commander. Alesha down to 39. Our deck isn't exactly powerful on the aggro side of things, even though it is kind of lower on the curve, at least as far as creatures go. We are looking for those good on-hit effects. Unfortunately, Yuriko again did not make it into the deck because of expense. In paper, she's not as expensive. Online, she's still $15. Needs a digital reprint. Alesha's turn, they do pay the 2 when the key untaps to draw a card. Swamp into play. Still no red source, sad face. General's Enforcer, nice. So, as I was saying about the enchantment removal, we just used Feed the Swarm. Resculpt is another part of that piece of getting rid of an enchantment, because we do have a mana rock in here that makes something an artifact. That's the only way I could figure out around it besides just bouncing the permanents, which I did add some more removal for that in here. To Aesi's turn, we have mana tap, and immediately we have Tatiova, Benthic Druid. Yay, life gain and more card draw. On the bright side, if they drop an Avenger of Zendikar, we do have Echoing Truth for the plants. Landfall trigger, Tatiova will draw them a card and gain them 1 life. Over to the Dragon, we have Cavern of Souls. So 5 mana, that's where you can start casting some of the better dragons. Dragon itself costs 9. Rhystic Stay probably was the good choice to destroy. Unfortunately, I don't know what we could do against Aesi. Landfall is a very strong ability. We have Hellkite Courser. Oh, that's pretty good. Hellkite Courser does cost 6, but it costs 1 less because of the eminence of the Dragon. When it's the battlefield, they get a hasty Dragon. Coming at us most likely, although we wouldn't really be the person that you should be hitting strategically, but blowing up somebody's stuff usually gets them riled up. Dragon is on the attack, and it will trigger. Who are they attacking though, of course, is the question. We have Dragon Lord Artarka. Only one thing is going to die. I mean, they could also like bolt us to the face or something. Honestly, if they get rid of Krydle, that's fine. I'd rather have the card draw off the Shadow Mage at the moment. They're dealing 3 to Tatiova, getting rid of him. 2 damage to the General's Enforcer. Okay, getting rid of Tatiova is nice. The dragon is going at us, of course, so we'll take the 10. Sad face. Down to 29, up to 10 commander. Hellkite Courser will trigger. Dragon back to the command zone. Our turn gives us Snow-Covered Swamp. Nice. Okay, we have no fires to speak of at the moment. We do have Resculpt to get rid of an artifact or a creature. So let's go ahead and read the bones and see if we can get anything cool. We get Pondrify and turn into a pumpkin. Let's put Pumpkin on the bottom and Pondrify on the top and draw it up. We also get a Scythe Specter. That's one of the more expensive ones. Let's go to attacks. Shadow Mage into the Dragon Lords and our commander off into Aesi. We have those triggers. Let's go ahead and scry first. We get Geth's Grimoire. Would be good if we actually had some discard going on, but setting up for the Scythe Spectre at this point is probably not going to be the best. Let's put it on bottom. And we draw Dead of Winter. Unfortunately, dragons are a little bit big. Let's go ahead and end the turn, but before that, I don't want to have to discard anything, so let's go ahead and Pondrify the Dragon Lord Artarka. And we'll pass it off there. Hopefully we're not going to take another hit from the Dragon, or be beaten into submission by a bunch of dragons. But we might be. Over to Alesha's turn, Sulphurous springs into play. Red source, hallelujah. Alright, let's see if their deck gets going. It is Alesha who smiles at death. We have an attack, it's often to the Aesi player. That's fine with me as long as it's not our face. Damage is good, they're down to 35 on Aesi's side. Aesi Tyrant of Gyre Strait coming down for that player. Oh, no landfall to follow it up, that's odd. Well, okay then. To the Dragon's turn, land into play Exotic Orchard. And yes, they do have all 5 colors from it. So what dragon will they play this time up to a 7-drop? Hopefully not something with haste. Dragons can get out of hand fairly quickly. Again, we do have Dead of Winter, but unfortunately the only thing we'd be killing mostly is ourselves. Demonic Tutor, okay. That's unfortunate. It's the Great Henge. More card draw, more life gain, all the things that players might want to be doing, plus it'll make the dragon stronger. Oof. On the bright side, we have Resculpt. Dragon Lord's Servant. We have Despark on the Great Henge. Nice, that coming out of Alesha. Fantastic, we can save Resculpt then for something else. The Dragon player on the attack, it's off into us again, sad face. We didn't even do anything that time. Oh well, nothing you can do. We are going down to 22. Our turn gives us Wayfarer's Bauble. I did want another snow-covered land. I didn't want to have to go search for it, though. That is unfortunate. Let's go ahead and get down the Bauble. And we'll go ahead and crack it. Let's get a snow-covered island. And to attacks, this time I guess we'll hold back Krydle. There's nowhere we can go with him at the moment. And hit the dragon player with the Shadow Mage because they keep hitting us. 1 for 6 damage. It's perfect. Damage is good. They're down to 38. We have fear after all. Let's see what we draw. I was really hoping it would be a land so we can play it. Unfortunately, it's Liliana's Reaver. And we go to the discard step. I want to keep up mana for removal. I don't know if we're going to be able to set up any of these 6-drops, really. Although, Scythe Spectre could be good later. But Rexiel does have evasion from everything, and it's larger, and we can steal things. Let's get rid of the Scythe Spectre for now. Over to Alesha's turn. Up to 1 target creature can't be blocked this turn. That is Alesha. They discard Archetype of Finality. Death Touch for them, not Death Touch for us. Alesha is on the attack. It's going off into the Aesi player. Alesha will trigger for the first time this game as well. Let's see what they recur. It will be the Mindclaw Shaman. Mindclaw Shaman comes into play and triggers. Who are they going to target? I imagine the dragon player doesn't have much left in their hand since it only has 2 cards and it's probably dragons. But again, hopefully it's not us. Although Aesi, they are targeting Aesi. Probably just ramp, maybe removal. We probably would have been the best choice with the information available. But I'm glad it's not us. That way they can't steal one of our Echoing Truths or something. Mindclaw Shaman does say target opponent reveals their hands. Nothing has been revealed so far, and I'd like that information as well. The Alesha player not casting anything from the Aesi player. Okay. Mindclaw Shaman is coming at us. Didn't realize that, should have blocked. Unfortunately, we'll be taking 2. We go down to 20. My bad. I thought it was going at the Aesi player. Aesi is down to 32, though, up to 3 commander damage from Alesha. Second main phase, we have a Rogue's Passage come down. Nice. And a Ravenous Jubacabra. Hellkite Courser, hopefully, probably, maybe. Could also be Aesi. They are destroying Aesi. Was just checking the chat. Alesha did say they're trying to cast the Growth Spiral from the hand of the Aesi player, and it, for some reason, won't let them be casting it, so... Don't know. That's too bad, though. Over to the Aesi player, the only player besides us with 7 cards in hand, and no creatures, and our guys are small, might as well not be creatures compared to a lot of this other stuff. But let's see what they do with the turn. Land into play. It's Coma Cosmos Serpent. Damn. Okay. We do have Resculpt, of course, I keep saying that, but now we have to wait to see if we're attacked first, and they get a couple of critters. Not my favorite. Coma triggers for the first time this game, they get a Coma's Coil. To the Ur-Dragon, we have Terror of the Peaks. There's not enough removal. On the bright side, we can get hit with Dead of Winter, so that's fine. Coma, on the other hand, we can't, so I guess that makes things a little bit more tangible as options. We have Kindred Boom. Okay, so things they have will get indestructible if they put a Divinity counter on them. Coma is sacrificing a coil to tap down the Hellkite Charger. That works for me. End of turn, let's get rid of Coma because I have no guarantee I'll kill it with Dead of Winter. They get a 4/4 blue and red elemental. We get in Garrick's Wake on our turn. Just a little mana short. Let's go to attacks. Oh, nowhere to send Krydle again, so let's go ahead and hit the Aesi player because Fear can't get through Black and Artifact. Damage is good. Let's draw that card. It's Dimir Signet. Still not quite the hand we need. Alright, let's go Dead of Winter and get rid of the things. And everything dies. Let's put Krydle back in the command zone. No recursion just yet. And we'll get down Thassa, God of the Sea. And we'll pass it off. To Alesha's turn, the key untaps. Let's see if they pay the 2 to draw a card. I imagine they will. They do. Up to 4 cards in hand after the draw. The Aesi player, 5 cards in hand, they're probably fine. The Ur-Dragon is actually running on 0 cards currently. Although, I mean, their Ur-Dragon will draw them a card if it gets to attack. Mentor of the Meek coming down for Alesha. That's pretty good in that deck. Over to the Aesi player, I expect a fairly good comeback out of them, unless all they have is ramp spells. But even then, Aesi back onto the battlefield? That's not terrible. Zendikar's Royal out of the Aesi player. Landfall, they get 2/2 elementals. Yeah, not bad. Try that out in Omnath. The 5 mana is a little bit of a detriment. Landfall trigger, by the way. And Shadow Spear is being equipped. We'll have to look out for that too, because it can take away indestructibility from Thassa if she becomes a creature. Over to the Ur-Dragon. 1 card after the draw. The Ur-Dragon does cost them 9, and they do not yet have the 9 mana. Oh, there's a land. Blood Crypt, into play tapped. So 1 turn away from the Ur-Dragon, that means we get a little bit of a respite. To our turn, we get to scry 1. If only the game would remind me in real life to scry one with Sascha. It's a trigger I always forget. Phyrexian Arena. Card draw good, life gloss bad. Let's put it on the bottom. We get Drowned Catacomb, sure. Let's play it. And then we might as well get down the Dimir Signet and stuff for future turns by having that extra mana. We do have Ungarrick's Wake coming up. Probably going to save our bacon a bit. And let's get down a heavy hitter with Rexiel the Risen Deep and hope nobody has removal so we can use their removal. Sounds like a plan. Rexiel the Risen Deep has Ion Walk and Swamp Walk. We cannot be blocked by anything. We also have Thassa and our commander too. Those are also nice. Alesha's turn sees Viserys here. Nice. Always a good card. Glad it got reprinted in a recent set, because for some reason it was being very expensive, and a common that shouldn't be. Mentor of the Meek will trigger for the first time this game. Blade Historian coming down. Attacking creatures they control have double strike. It's the Curse of Opulent Sky's grandfather. I swear they're actually the same person though. No attacks have the Alesha player, not even into the Dragon player. Over to Aesi, we have a lot of mana tapping down already. On the bright side, doesn't look like a Psych Rift. That's always nice. It's Aesi Tyrant of Gyre Strait. Landfall triggers. They get to play additional land this turn as well anyway. That's another elemental and they may draw a card. There's a second landfall. And then we have 3 visits for yet another landfall trigger. On the bright side there, I'm so they can't interact with Rexiel. I'm thinking Rexiel into the Ur-Dragon, assuming they don't quit on us, and get Demonic Tutor. Get Mindcrank, set up for the Mindcrank Duskmail Guild Mage combo, hope it doesn't get disrupted, and win the game from there. Although I think before that we'll need a land for Ungarrick's Wake. We have the Elemental with the Shadow Spear on the attack. Off into the Dragon player so far. Yep, that cements it. What else do we have in graveyards in case they do quit? Of course, because we have to attack, it's kind of, telegraphed. Not to mention AC, we do have D-Spark off in Alesha's corner there. Not terrible. Damage is good to the Dragon player, down to 35. The AC player is up to 34. The Ur-Dragon with Tundra into play, that also means they might be able to summon the Ur-Dragon. Tundra into play for the Ur-Dragon on their turn. Looks like the Ur-Dragon is also coming down. It is the Ur-Dragon. So, our turn, land Ungarrick's Wake. Because if the Ur-Dragon player is going to quit, as some players do on Magic Online, I want them to quit before we waste the attack to try to grab that Demonic Tutor so we can adjust our strategy. Otherwise, it won't be looking too good for us. We get to scry though, that's always nice. It's Sign in Blood. Again, don't know if I want that or not. We do want to try to get to that land, so let's go ahead and put it on bottom. And we get Painful Truths. Worse than Sign in Blood, that's unfortunate for us. Alright, first let's go to the attacks and see what happens. Off into the Ur-Dragon, nothing personal, I just need your tutor. We have a trigger, let's cast the tutor. They take 5 damage, down to 30. Flood of Tears is looking real fancy right now. Unfortunately, I don't think that'll do anything but prolong the game, so let's go ahead and get that Mindcrank. To the second main, let's go ahead and draw some cards. I don't think we're along for the world anyway if anyone decides to attack us, so losing the life here really shouldn't matter anymore. We get Glasspool Mimic and the Eldest Reborn. Too bad the Glasspool Mimic doesn't have the It's Not Legendary clause like everything gets nowadays. There's nothing else I really want to cast and blow our cover on at the moment. I do want 2 mana up for the Echoing Truth, so let's go ahead and play the Glasspool Mimic as a land, and I guess we're going to pass it there. Okay, over to Alesha's turn. We are completely vulnerable. Next turn, if we survive, we can do Ungarrick's Wake, set up our combo, hope nobody has interaction, and go from there. Drop an Eldest Reborn, and that would start the trigger. We have a Sad Robot out of Alesha. That's assuming everyone summons a creature after the fact, anyway. They pay for the Mentor of the Meek. They draw a card, and Solemn Simulacrum will go get them a land. Malakir Rebirth on the Simulacrum. They lose 2 life until end of turn. When that creature dies, it gets returned to the battlefield. I believe it's tapped, though. So they will sacrifice it with Viserys here. Yep, there it goes. Mentor of the Meek will trigger again. They will draw a card. No attacks out of Alesha, that works for me. That's 1 more turn we survive. Shadow Spear is being equipped to Aesi. Didn't like that much. Any damage we take that puts us to 10 or below means the Ur-Dragon can kill us in 1 hit, and that's also not my favorite. So far Aesi is just a 6/6, but they are playing green, so you never know. Looks like we have an attack. All of the creatures from Aesi are going off into Alesha. Works for me. That means we don't have to use our Echoing Truth to save our butt. We have only 1 intercept against an elemental. 1 elemental down, other damage is good. They take 12, go down to 23. Aesi back up to 40, thanks for the lifelink on the Shallow Spear. To the Ur-Dragon's turn, let's see what they Ur-Dragon up. Kindred Boon to make an indestructible Ur-Dragon, and that's unfortunate. On the bright side, Echoing Truth will get around that. On the not bright side, Ingarrick's Wake will not. That was some risk that we had there. Command Tower into play, so just a land for them. They do get to attack and draw a card though, so let's see where they're going with it. Hopefully not our face. It is our face. That's a sadness. Let's bounce it away with the Echoing Truth. They do still get the trigger, of course. Let's see what they draw. Maybe they'll play it this turn. Ur-Dragon in hand. There's the draw. Ur-Dragon back into play with its own ability. That's pretty nifty. Too bad we won't be able to kill it though. To our turn we get Scry. Let's go ahead, probably go for another land unless we get some really good follow-up. So I think first we'll attack with the Rexiel into Alesha, get D-Spark, get rid of the Ur-Dragon, blow everything up anyway, and have to wait. Land. You know what? I'm going to take the land just because. We'll probably need for the activation on the Duskmail Guildmage anyway. Let's get the land. Let's go to attacks. Hopefully Alesha does not have a random path to exile. We should be unblockable because they control some swamps. Let's see what happens. Oh, right, we get the trigger. Let's go for D-Spark. Yeah, we'll target the Ur-Dragon. Should get rid of the Kindred Boon at some point too. And then let's go ahead and go for that Ingarrick's Wake. Aesi could have a counterspell though, so we might get blown out right here. It all really depends. Viserys here being activated with sacrifices. Yep, might as well get some scries off of that. Seems like a good idea. And the board gets cleared up. Let's pass it off. Over to Alesha's turn. 18 life, 6 commander damage. And they have 6 cards in hand. Not too shabby for a recovery. They also are a Reanimator deck. There's Revel Arc. That's pretty good. It is Evoke though. That means they'll get stuff immediately back into play. Let's see what they pick. It's Newscraft, Mob, and Mentor of the Meek. Judith the Scourge Diva coming down. At the end of Alesha's turn, we have Growth Spiral out of Aesi. We have a landfall trigger, Zendikar's Royal, again, making a 2/2 elemental, and an Overload Cyclonic Rift. That's a sad face, although we don't need Rexiel so much anymore. That does make us mana short for the combo, though. Okay, let's see what they do at the turn. The last time we got Cycrift from a Simic deck, they more or less won the game, not that we were in any position to really fight them at that point. This deck has been upgraded a bunch since then, so we'll have to wait and see. I do not run Cycrift in here because of its expensive nature, so that's not working for us. We do have Flood of Tears, though. That could always be good. It's Aesi Tyrant of Gyra Strait coming back down. As long as they have a land, they get an elemental and can draw a card and play another land, to get another elemental. You know how it goes. Landfall. We have Explore. They may play yet another land on this turn, draw a card. Elemental on the attack. It's against the Alesha player. They'll be taking 2. Damage is good there, down to 16. Over to the Ur-Dragon, 3 cards in hand after the draw. One of them is the Kindred Boon, so let's see what else they might play this turn. The Ur-Dragon is probably a little bit out of their grasp right now. Could be any number of other dragons, and I don't know that we'd necessarily survive if they got to untap with them, so sad face. Lathless into play for the Dragon player. Kindred Boon coming down. Stomping Grounds into play, untapped. Alright, they're going to make Lathless indestructible. Sad face. We only have a turn or two maybe to pull this off. We get Hypnotic Specter. Deals damage to opponent, discards a card at random, that's fine. The Eldest Reborn could help us trigger it, but then we telegraph our entire plan. And would we survive? Nothing really has haste. I think this is how we have to go for it. Let's do the Eldest Reborn first. Eldest Reborn to play. Everybody gets to sack something. I imagine Lathless, of course, and then the Elemental will go away. Yep, there it goes. Alright, let's get to the work. Let's do the Dimir Signet. And then let's get down the Duskmantle Guildmage or the Mindcrank, one or the other. Let's get down the Guildmage. I don't want to give away our whole plan just yet. And then let's just pass it off. Citywide Bust, destroy creatures with toughness 4 or greater. Only for Aesi, sure, I'll take it. Okay, hopefully nothing happens to Duskmantle. We do have some recursion in the deck, we haven't hit any though. Unmarked Grave, search your library for a non-legendary card and put it into your graveyard. Shuffle. Let's go see what they get. I wonder if it'll be Anger. Anger would be somewhat problematic. It's Dusk to Dawn. Okay, still no haste. We're still okay. But Dusk to Dawn is a very good card in that deck. And they play Dawn. We have Viserys here for the Alesha player. So let's see. Their graveyard is more or less empty. Yeah, great card. Now they just have to discard what they want back in there. Alesha can just get it back later. Assuming we don't kill everybody with the combo though. To the cleanup step, they will have to discard those 5 cards. We'll see what they discard as we switch over to Aesi's turn. Discard Behind the Scenes Tormenting Voice, Blade Historian, Mindclaw Shaman, and the Archetype of Finality. To Aesi's turn. Are they resummoning their commander? They in fact are doing so. And no extra landfalls out of Aesi, that's interesting. Over to the Ur-Dragon, 1 card in hand. It's the Ur-Dragon for the Ur-Dragon player. Okay. No haste, hopefully. To our turn, each opponent discards a card. The only mana up for this turn is red. Hopefully it's not a red Elemental Blast or a Pyroblast to get rid of Duskmetal Guildmage. That would kind of suck. Hey, we get Burglar Rat for the turn. That'll make things a little bit easier and cheaper on us. Okay, let's see what we can do with this. Mind Crank to the stack. Let's play Burglar Rat. Sorry for the jets in the background. This is the moment of truth. We have to respond to the trigger when it comes into play by activating our Duskmetal Guildmages. Okay, and Alesha quits the game. Good game to the Alesha player, and this should be infinite, you know, until they die. Although it doesn't quite get rid of the Dragon player because we actually have to hit them with something. And Mind Crank will trigger. That should be the Aesi player out of the game. Totally missed the Ur-Dragon not having a card in hand. Sad face. We do have Hypnotic Specter for a block. Otherwise, we can survive damage from the Ur-Dragon, but depending on what they draw next turn, could be the game for us either way. I have also auto-yielded to these triggers, so I guess Aesi is just going to let it play out. 1 mana short of killing everyone off. That's a sad face. Ah, and the game crashed, son of a pony. Okay, damn it. I was really looking forward to see if the Ur-Dragon had anything to finish us off. That's what happens, though. I went to turn off the auto-yield so I could just do it till end of turn, so I didn't have them automatically done for us at all, because I'd done auto-yield just whenever they trigger, instead of, you know, just on the turn. And I guess that's what crashed the game. Damn. Okay, good game to our opponents, I suppose. Let's go ahead and take a look at the deck. Did make a lot of major changes, but as you can tell, it's still not exactly a combat juggernaut. Okay, and here is the deck. So, yeah, unfortunately, totally missed that the Ur-Dragon had no cards in hand, because I forgot that our Eldest Reborn made them discard the 1 card that they did have. Bit of a sad face. Otherwise, we are 1 mana short of activating Duskmetal Guildmage's second ability to hit the Ur-Dragon. So I can't even say whether we would have won or lost that game. And that's probably going to bug me for a while. Sad face. As far as changes to the deck go, I did add more mass removal in Flood of Tears, one of my personal favorite ones. It's like Cyclonic Rift, sorcery speed, 1 mana less, and you get to return something to the battlefield if you bounced 4 or more things. It's one of my favorite mass bounce removals. That and Evacuation, if you can't afford a Cyclonic Rift. Also add Blood on the Snow because it also destroys all creatures or hits planeswalkers. It doesn't hit non-land permanents, but you also get to recur something if you spend a bunch of snow mana on it, up to something that costs CMC6 or MV6. And we have a lot of snow basics in the mana base just for that purpose. Also for Dead of Winter, which also helps out. Also add more removal generally. So again, we have Resculpt, so that exiles an artifact or creature. They get something out of it, but at least we can block a usually smaller creature or get rid of an important artifact. We also have Raven form in that regard, where they only get a bird, and it can be foretold. It does have evasion, but it's a 1/1 bird compared to a 4/4 elemental, so trade-off there. Raven form is also sorcery speed, so it's not the best, but we need to interact with other things, including enchantments. And how do we do that with this? Well, we have Liquid Metal Torque, I think is how it's pronounced. Target non-land permanent becomes an artifact in addition to its other types till end of turn. A little bit of a roundabout way of doing it. It is a 2 mana rock. Figure I'd try it out. Like I said, I had a lot of trouble with Revel and Riches in a previous game while testing, so there you go. Answer there. Plus we got Feed the Swarm this game to get rid of that Rustic Stay. Probably saved our butt more times than I can count, but who really knows. Also added Turn into a Pumpkin. This one, return target non-land permanent to its owner's hand, draw a card. It replaces itself, it bounces any permanent, and we can potentially make a food token, which isn't really why it's in here. But it's because we have the Specters on discard. That's another way we can get rid of enchantments. The only other thing I really changed about the deck is I did add Scytheclaw as another Virtus the Veiled ability. In case we can hit somebody half their life total, that will be a major boon to us, just so we can get more damage through, basically through life loss. Still wish I could add Yuriko to the deck, even if it's only a little bit here and there on the life loss, just to get us ahead. Unfortunately, she again is really expensive. Anyway, here's the deck. If you saw any of the cards in this video that you'd like to purchase for yourself in paper, sealed product, or gaming accessories to protect all of that glory, please consider using the TCG Player affiliate link in the description below. It helps out the channel and doesn't cost you anything extra. On to the next game for Krydle of Baldur's Gate. Hopefully it won't crash the game, and we can have a definitive winner. because I'm sure, like most of my viewership, that was a little bit lame. But the deck did more or less what it was intended to do. It's just getting through with the Specters is a real issue, even with the flying, just because if you force somebody to discard a card, they can get really sore at you and crack back for a lot, and that's why I added a lot more mass removal. In either case, until the next video, stay safe, and I'll see you around.